Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jay here. Thanks for checking out my channel. If you've been here before, you know I cover the gamut of topics, everything from reviews, technology, AI, even music, stuff I've recorded and covers. It's all over the place. But lately, I've been on a vibe coding kick, and as you probably have seen some recent videos on this channel, I've done some other apps like I did my easy folders, did my travel tracker, my Messiah Learn. I'm doing my fiance and crypto dashboard. This one here is probably my most favorite app that I've worked on out of the 4 or 5 different apps I've worked on this year since I started vibe coding. And again, I just wanted to do this video to kind of show you the progression of this. And if it's the first time you're seeing me do this, just kind of what's possible with AI. Someone who has very little to no programming experience myself. I'm able to just use logic and work with AI, sometimes fight with AI to get a pretty good, honestly, perfectly working at this point in time after many iterations. There's very few times now that I see anything major wrong, and if I see something off, I refer to AI and get it to fix it. And sometimes after 2 or 3 tries, it gets it right. Sometimes it takes longer than that. But as you can see here, this is my crypto dashboard. I migrated from Coinbase to Binance because their fees are much less. Because I like to try to do some swing trade, day trades, whatever. I'm not really the best at it, to be honest. I'm kind of new to the whole trading thing, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun hobby, and I'm hoping it makes me money at some point once I hone in some of the features and functionalities of this. But as you can see here, this is my current portfolio. I got my allocations, pie chart, and then the portfolio trend. As you can see, it's gone down. We've had a crash. I've done some trades and trying to see if I can buy the dip and sell. When I feel like things are crashing, and I think it's going to go down more. Unfortunately, I made a couple bad calls when it comes to that, but I'm getting better at it. Hopefully. So I added a few things to this since I started. I added this fear and greed index, which kind of shows currently the overall sentiment of the market. It was extreme fear a couple days ago, but it moved up to fear. And I think that once the government shutdown ends and we get some of these trade deals and all this tariff stuff and all that stuff kind of the dust settles, and hopefully see a massive increase in the market. And they've been predicting it for a while that October, November, December, it's gonna skyrocket. It will hit some all-time highs, but that remains to be seen. So I got here and I got my trades, my current coins in my portfolio down here, including any pending trades. So I implemented this cool thing where if I do a pending order, for example, in this case, I have a pending limit buy. If the price of Bitcoin drops to 107,000 or less, then it triggers a purchase, and I have it shows how much and how much in USDT, 110 USDT, which is about $110 more or less. And it's pretty convenient because if you go to Binance, you have to kind of look at a couple different places to see all this. And this kind of gives me a high level overview of my portfolio. It's not going to give me all the spot trading charts and everything that I could see on Binance, but I could potentially build it in at some point in the future. But down here, this is really the power of this app. It kind of shows me a high level overview, and I can set alerts as well. So right now, I've set some alerts to tell me, when Bitcoin drops down 10% or rises above 10%, my average entry, which is the weighted average of how much I paid for the coin, I guess. So I have currently 60111, and then I have some actions over here. I can click on this button here, and I built into it AI functionality, which I'll explore it more in depth later, which is really cool. I was able to get AI built into my app. But it does a little search, and of course, it's the thinking model that I'm using, I believe. So it takes about, I don't know, anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds to generate a response. So I can close that and let it do its thing. I can add notes here. This is Bitcoin. Hover over it. Well, it would show the oh, there it is. Yeah, this is Bitcoin. And then I'll get an alert. So when this drops 10% below or 10% above, I get a Telegram alert and I get a desktop alert. I have an app that I had it build as well for my desktop. Let's change it to something that's probably more, it's probably gonna quickly trigger it so you can kind of see what that looks like. So let's see, 107,780, and then I'll put this one at an amount. So this will tell me just the pure amount that when it hits that, that's when I get notified. If it drops below that, or if it goes above, let's say 107, let's go with 790. put that to an amount, and we'll see what happens. Um, and I can just, if I don't need an alert on something, I'll just uncheck this alerts enabled bell icon here. So I don't need anything for USDT, and I don't need anything for BNB. This is basically here just to give me the 5% off the Binance charge and the fees they charge for transactions. And then down here I have my wait list, which if I want to see, um, if I want to get notified, maybe Solana or Cardano, if I want to get notified when a price goes above or below a certain amount, I can add that down here as well and get alerts for those. So let's say I want to get alerted when Solana drops below 180 and I want to know if it goes above 200, just out of curiosity. And yeah, and if I have a coin on here that I don't really need to see right off the top, maybe I invested all my USDT and I don't need to see this anymore, I can just click hide. I think it was probably polling and it did that, but so it's gone. Then I can just click here to unhide coins and restore that back to the portfolio. And I don't need to click hide here. I can just delete what I don't need to see. I don't care about Cardano anymore. We'll get that out of there. So that's basically the long and short of it. Let's see if the news is done for did I click Bitcoin? Yeah, here it is. So at 9:09, October 19, 2025, and this shows just the news, the general overall news of what's going on with Bitcoin in the market. So yeah, it says trading recommendation hold. It's telling me I should hold. Okay, we'll see if that pans out, and it gives me the source of where it came from. So pretty sweet. And then we click, but then the next piece of that is going to be the AI dashboard. So this is part of 3 different prompts that I have: market analysis, risk assessment, portfolio review. So market analysis kind of just gives me an overall picture of the marketplace in general of cryptocurrency. Risk analysis kind of does a risk assessment of the market, and then the portfolio review is it actually checks my portfolio specifically. So how did I do this? Well, let's go to settings, scroll down here, and I have a agentic workflow. So what happens is I have this prompt here that let's see here. So it happens on a daily basis, every 4 hours, starting at 7:30 a.m. and then 11:30 p.m. Max of 8,000 tokens. Of course, I have it enabled. And what happens is, so at 7:30 a.m., it sends a prompt to my AI agent, basically, saying you're an intelligent search query generator for cryptocurrency market analysis. Blah 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 blah. It says instructions here. And what it does is it takes those instructions, sends it out to the model. The model uses either Brave Search or DuckDuckGo as a fallback if I don't have any more credits. And if it's using my portfolio review, it's going to also access the database of all my coins and the database of all my transactions. So for the market and risk assessment ones here, it's just going to do a 3-stage prompt. The first stage is going to be the prompt that gets sent out. Second stage is the search. The third stage is taking all the search results and consolidating it with this prompt here and sending that out, and then the result will show up here in the dashboard. So this is this is the result of the prompt. So this here, if I click view prompt, this is the third prompt that was sent, and it shows the results of the first prompt and the search results. So it's basically, it's like, think of like N8N or Make, Zapier, those kind of like workflows where it's, you're kind of building out the steps it should go. This is the third, basically the third prompt. It's already got its search results, and this is the response from the model. This is the risk assessment, market analysis, and then down here, because it was able to retrieve my portfolio data. Whoops, this one here. It shows the current, at the time of this, the search, 7:56 p.m. All my holdings and also any transactions I've had and the transaction logs. So that was pretty cool. And if I want to refresh it anytime, I can do so, or I can just wait to the next one, which at this point would be 11:30 p.m. Eastern. And this is going to show the latest results. But I'll do you one better. I can click this little AI Copilot sidebar, and those results also show up here. And I can do a search and say, let me see how many times bear has come up in here. Let's see what the bears are up to. And it will tell me, well, there's been 10 references to bear. Ethereum is a bearish trend right now. And I can click this arrow and just keep searching through to see all the times that I've used, that bear has come up or I've typed it. And you can see I've done that before too. Do you think we are in a bear market, or are we expecting that we are in a V-shaped recovery? And not only does these, 3-stage prompts work, the sidebar also has the ability to reference the last 8,000 tokens worth, basically because of the 8,000 token limit. I can check to see, basically through all the conversation history up to 8,000 tokens, context with my prompt. So I could ask it again. I did this yesterday as a test, just for to see if it worked, because it was before it had give me errors, but I finally fixed it. We'll ask it again, and it'll say thinking while it does its prompt, and I just try to be patient and wait and see what the response is going to be. But it's going to do the same thing. It's going to take my prompt. It's going to have access to Brave Search or DuckDuckGo. It's going to have access to my portfolio. It's going to have access to my transaction history, and it's going to be able to use all that as context to provide me a reasonable response with some context of my portfolio and transactions, not just blah blah blah. In this case, this is a more vague question. If I wanted to ask it a question about my portfolio, it would know. I would say, hey, how much have I spent on fees? Throughout the entire time I've been trading, it would be able to go through and look at all the transactions, and give me the fees that I paid. But I can also get that by going to the tax report section here. But because we're using a thinking model here, we got to be patient and see what the response is. I can, close that for now. It's still going to be running. But anyways, continuing on here, back to the settings so I can show you what I also did was I had this AI integration, and I also just recently updated this with the new models because ZAI now has 4.6 and OpenAI now has GPT-5 model. So I updated that, and I can just decide, do I want ZAI or do I want OpenAI? And ZAI has a GLM 4.5 flash model, which is free. So that's what I use by default. But maybe I can add some more credits. I have like $9 in my OpenAI account. Maybe I'll throw some of that, towards that to get some better results. But the results have been they've been all right. It's AI. You can't expect it to be well, maybe because I left the screen, it's gone here. I should have probably kept it open. That's okay. Let me see. Oh no, it's here. I just had to wait for it to refresh. Yeah. Based on the current market data, we do not appear to be in a bear market as of October 19. According to the BNB Monthly Market Insights report, cryptocurrency market capitalization grew by 4.3%. Blah, blah. So it thinks we're not in a bear market. We'll see if that's true. Kind of feel like it seems like at the very least it's sideways. It's definitely not a bull market anymore. That seems to be gone. But that's basically you know, the AI Copilot. Pretty nice, even if I don't know if I can trust what it says. And then, finally, last but not least, I would say the most powerful part of this app, besides the tracking and the alerts and stuff like that, I do thoroughly enjoy the ability to trade on my own personal platform here. So I just realized that this wasn't saved, so I had to. I think I put the number in, but I forgot to hit enter, and it didn't save that. So let me just refresh here to make sure that that's there. Go back to the screen here. Okay, it's stuck. I just probably forgot to hit enter or something, but we're going to test the trading alerts again here. Price down or price up. So I just set it slightly below and slightly above the current price of Bitcoin. And I should get a notification here from Telegram, as well as I have a little desktop app that I built here for it as well. Anyways, let's continue on with the grand finale here, the trading platform. So what I told AI to do was, hey, here's a link to Binance's API documentation. Thoroughly review it, implement trading on my site. So before I had a trade button here. When I clicked it, it opened up Binance.us, and I would go in and fill out the rest of the information. But now I was like, you know what? I want to have complete control over my Binance portfolio here, with the ability even to make trades, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I did, and it works. And I'm actually quite surprised how good it works. So right now you can see I have a pending order here for 110 USD worth of Bitcoin. So if I go to trading and I click on order history, you'll see here's all the past orders that I've done over all the way back to May 17. This is including back when I had Coinbase, and I migrated to Binance on August 25th. So I got all my transactions there. I can show canceled orders too if I want to. But here is my open orders. So I can click cancel, and I built this in, which is huge because keep in mind, Binance does have two-factor authentication, but if you use their API, it's not part of it. So I had to tell AI to build a two-factor authentication system for me. So it added it to the credentials database, and I integrated it here, and it should pop up here any second now. Sometimes it doesn't work because the plugin doesn't work properly, but it should. Let me click on this again. Yeah, it's not working this time, of course, while I'm recording a video, but it's all right. Open Bitwarden here and crypto. Grab that out of my Bitwarden, paste that here. Done. That order has been canceled. And just so we can see for sure here, order history, as you can see, BTC limit buy canceled. Now, let's put this back up here. And I'm going to place the order here. Let's start from here, all right? Because I can, which is cool about this is I can see what's in my portfolio, and you know what, I have 111 left. I want to invest the rest of that in Bitcoin when it drops below 107. Click buy, and what's cool about it is it automatically selects my trading pair, and then the order side, which is buy in this case, and this is what I have available, 111.91 worth. And let's just do all of it. Why not? And click place real order. And it shows me, just like on Binance, what kind of order I'm putting in. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do a market order. To a limit order. And I'll say 107,000 million. And yeah, cool. I hit enter. And there, and now it wants to work. Okay. All right. But it tells you right here, this limit order will buy this much BTC at 107,000 USDT. It will only fill this price or better. Boom. Let's put that in. Successful. If I want to know that's actually working, boom, let's go here, open orders, refresh. There it is, folks. Fan-frickin-tastic. I was so stoked when that worked. I was so happy when that works. And actually, surprisingly, it didn't take that much work. I've had, simple things like on the dashboard, like it screwed up the column headers, and it took like 15 tries to have it fix it properly. This didn't take that long. I was actually pleasantly surprised how easy this was. And I think a lot of times it just comes down to context, giving the model proper context, giving it a proper instructions and a proper database schema, maybe a couple markdown files that I always share with every single session that I have. And sometimes I'll even attach it every single prompt, which is probably overkill. And I use quite a bit of tokens doing that. But it's like, you know what? I want it to be correct. I want it to be accurate. So I give it as much context as possible. And yeah, this is what you can do, folks. This is what you can do. You don't even need to use Binance.us. You can have your own site, and even if it's, you can use Binance.us. It's free. It's not a cost to use it. But you know what? Why not just do it on your own? It's fun. It's fun to vibe code. And you have more control over it. And you can see it the way you want to see it. And there it is, folks. We got BTC alert. And of course, my Telegram, which is on my phone. And I get down here, it's moving up over 108 to 33. It's going 232. It's going up. Nice. Like to see that. So there you have it, folks. Crypto alert dashboard. Thanks for watching.